Hello students, so this is your teacher McEnroe and I'm going to deal with the tenses part 9 today. In the last class of tenses part 8, I have taught you about the past continuous tense where you have learned a lot of things there, and then you must have applied those sentences where I was teaching you all those. Today I'm going to take you along with me with the assignments that I have given to you last time. Those assignments which are there on your screen right now, let me just remind you that I had asked you to solve those assignments. Let us go with the first one. He was going to school by bike, isn't it? Do you remember last time that assignment? He was going to school by bike. You have to find out whether which tense is that, whether it is singular number or plural number, and the statement, which statement is that, by the way, and the next one, the forms of verb, obviously. Let's move on to the next sentence. I did not tell them anything about you. Okay, were you going for the movie yesterday? We did not play yesterday due to rain. She came to visit me last Sunday. Did you try to call me this morning? He knew me from childhood. Did they buy you a gift for your birthday? Was it raining there in your place? So these were the assignments given to you. Now let's have a look the answer of those assignments. The first one, he was going to school by bike, and you'll have to find out that which tense is that. That is the past continuous, okay, and the singular number has been used over there in the form of he. He is one of the singular numbers, and it's a positive statement, and obviously the fourth form of verb has been used over there. And what is the fourth form? Going, G-O-I-N-G. So the first one is past continuous, singular number, PS, that is positive statement, and the fourth form of verb. Let's move on to the next one. I did not tell them anything about you. That is actually past indefinite, and I is supposed to be the singular number, and where you have to use not, that is a negative statement. Remember I told you those? Yep. So I did not tell them anything about you. Did is already a past tense, so you cannot use the next verb in the form of past tense. So here the forms of verb, that is going to the first forms of verb will be used over here. So which is the first form of verb which has been used over there? It's tell. So I did not tell them anything about you. So here is the answer for that. It's past indefinite, a singular number, negative statement, and the first form of verb. Move on to the next sentence. Were you going for the movie yesterday? Okay, there is a question mark over there. So it's definitely an interrogative statement. So it is past continuous, singular number, interrogative statement, and the fourth form of verb has been used over there. We did not play yesterday due to rain. It's a past indefinite, and of course it's a plural number because V is one of the plural numbers, and negative statement because not has been applied there, and the first form of verb is being used. Okay, so definitely it's a past indefinite. So she came to visit me last Sunday. Again, she is one of the singular numbers, and came is actually the second form, that is second form of come. Okay, what is the first form? Come. And S form, comes. Second form, came. Third form, come. And then the final one, coming with ing. Okay, so that one, came, is being applied or used over there, so that would be the past indefinite, singular number, and the positive statement. And remember that the second forms of verb will be applied over there. Did you try to call me this morning? Remember, I told you something about that you are not supposed to say today morning, today afternoon, or today evening. That would be entirely wrong. So you just have to say this morning, this afternoon, or this evening. So the sentence was, did you try to call me this morning? The answer for that is, it's a past indefinite, singular number, interrogative statement, and is of course the first form of verb has been used over there. Next one, he knew me from childhood. It's not new, K-N-E-W, it doesn't pronounce like that. The correct pronunciation for K and EW is new. It's not new. It's not K new because the K is there. Just because of that, you will have to pronounce it like that. So it's new. He knew me from childhood. Okay, it's not new. So let's just have a look at that. That which tense is that? It's past indefinite, singular number, positive statement, and the second form of verb has been used over there. Did they buy you a gift for your birthday? That's a question mark. So obviously it is an interrogative statement. So the sentence is past indefinite, plural number because they is one of the plural numbers, and interrogative statement because you have been inquiring, and that's an inquiry. You are asking question, and the first form of verb has been used there. Was it raining there in your place? That is again an interrogative statement. The sentence is past continuous, singular number has been used, interrogative statement, and the fourth form of verb. Let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, there it is. That is actually the one that I have told you in the last class that I'm going to deal with, and that is past perfect tense. Let's just have a look at the meaning and the definition of that one. The task that had happened, that instance in the past, is called the past perfect tense. We are talking about the past over here. The task that had happened that time, at that instance, that is called the past perfect tense. Let's just have a look at the table so that you will be able to understand that how you have to frame the sentences over there. The positive statement, he, she, it, plus had, H-A-D, had, plus third form of verb will be used in this tense, the past perfect tense. In the negative statement, he, she, it again, plus had, plus not, plus third form of verb will be used. And for the interrogative statement, had will be there in the beginning whenever you're asking question, plus he, she, it, plus third form of verb, and obviously plus object. For the singular and plural number, I, we, you, they, plus had, plus third form of verb. And again, for the negative statement, I, we, you, they, plus had, plus not, plus third form of verb. And interrogative statement, had plus I, we, you, they, plus third form of verb plus object. There are some examples which are given in the table over there. For the positive statement, he / she had done her work or his work. He, she had done her or his work. He or she had done his or her work. That moment in the past. And for the singular number, that is I, it has to be like this. I had done my work. That moment in the past. Okay. And if we are going to use we, you, they, those are actually the plural numbers, so it will become like this. We had done our work, or you had done your work, or they had done their work. It goes like that. More on the negative statement, that is the next example. He or she had not done his or her work. The meaning for that is actually that was not done in the past. Okay, so you could consider it like that. I, we, you, they, plus had, plus not done. I had not done my work, or you had not done your work, or we had not done our work, or they had not done their work. Okay. Move on to the next example, which is interrogative statement. Had he or she done his work or her work? Or the next one, had I done my work? Or had we done our work? Had you done your work? Had they done their work? Okay. And you must have understood that what is actually the past perfect tense and how you have to frame the sentences according to the table that I have shown you there. Okay. If possible, again, I have been telling you this all the time whenever I am here. My classes is on. You'll have to take up your mobile phone and then just take the snapshot of that so that you don't miss all the things that I'm teaching you. Could be benefited from it also. Okay. Move on to the next slide. Those are actually the examples of positive statement for the past perfect tense. Let's just have a look at the first one, the first sentence. He had watched an action movie. Okay, he had watched an action movie. That means that had happened in the past, and that time he had watched it, he had done it. All right, so he had watched an action movie. Here he is actually a singular number, and had shows that we are talking about the past perfect tense, and watch is definitely the third form of verb which is being used for the past perfect tense. She had watched an action movie. I had watched an action movie. We had watched an action movie. You had watched an action movie. They had watched an action movie. Got it? Clear? Okay. Now we were talking about this one as positive statement. Now you just have to convert that into negative statement. How you will do that? By adding what? Okay. You'll have to add not after had. He had not watched an action movie. She had not watched an action movie. I had not watched an action movie. We had not watched an action movie, etc. Okay. So this is I have done for you the example for the negative statement. He had not watched an action movie. She had not watched an action movie. I had not watched an action movie. We had not watched an action movie. You had not watched an action movie. They had not watched an action movie. Okay. Now you'll have to convert that into interrogative statement. How you'll do that? Remember in the last class also I have told you about that how you'll have to do that. You'll have to remove that not from there, from that negative statement, and you'll have to put that had in the beginning of the sentence like this. Had he watched an action movie? With a question mark. Don't forget to put that question mark always, because it's an interrogative statement. Had she watched an action movie? Had I watched an action movie? Had we watched an action movie? Had you watched an action movie? And had they watched an action movie? Okay. Hope this one is going to help you to frame your sentences. Right. Move on to the next slides. That is the definition of past perfect continuous tense. The meaning of past perfect continuous tense. What is it? The task that had begun sometimes ago in the past and had happened till then is called past perfect continuous tense. Again, the task that had begun sometimes ago in the past and had happened till then is called the past perfect continuous tense. For that, what you have to do? We'll have to look at the table that I have made for you so that you will understand that how you could frame your sentences while forming the thing for the tense, the past perfect continuous tense. Positive statement, negative statement, interrogative statement. He, she, it plus had been, fourth form of verb. He, she, it plus had not plus been plus fourth form of verb. Had plus he, she, it plus been plus fourth form of verb. That was for the interrogative statement. I, we, you, they plus had plus been plus fourth form of verb for the positive statement. I, we, you, they plus had plus not plus been plus fourth form of verb. And interrogative statement had plus I, we, you, they plus been plus fourth form of verb. Okay. There are some of the examples that have been given there for you. She, he or she had been doing his or her work. Why doing? Because for the past perfect continuous tense, fourth form is going to be taken up here. Fourth form is going to be used here, or fourth form is going to be applied here for the past perfect continuous tense. I, we, you, they plus had been plus doing my, our, your, their work. It'll go like this. I had been doing my work. We had been doing our work. Or you had been doing your work, or they had been doing their work. All right? Move on to the next example, the negative statement. He, she or it. Here we always don't use it. So for singular numbers, the subject, whenever it matters, we have to use he and she. So he or she had not been doing his or her work. And for the singular number, partly plural number, like I, we, you, they, so it goes like this. I had not been doing my work. We had not been doing our work. You had not been doing your work. They had not been doing their work. And now for the interrogative statement, the example, it'll go like this. Had you been doing your work? Question mark. Had you been doing your work? That's for the singular number you. Had I been doing my work? Okay, question mark. Had we been doing our work? Question mark. Had they been doing their work? Question mark. And for the singular numbers like he, she, has she been doing her work, or has he been doing his work? Okay, so those are the examples that are there in the table. Now to make you understand more, those are the examples. The first one, that is for the positive statement, those are the examples. He had been watching an action movie. Remember that I told you that the fourth form of verb will be applied here. What is the first form of watching? Watch. And the suffix forms of that, watches. Second form, watched with ed. Third form, watched with ed. And the fourth form, obviously, watching with ing. Okay, so here when we are talking about the past perfect continuous tense, so the fourth form will be used and applied here. So he had been watching an action movie. She had been watching an action movie. Or I had been watching an action movie. We had been watching an action movie. You had been watching an action movie, and they had been watching an action movie. Now that was for the positive statement. What are you going to do with your negative statement if you have to convert that into a negative statement? Come on, you could do it. Yep, what you are supposed to do? You just have to add not, N-O-T, not. That's for the negative statement. With what you'll have to add that? You'll have to add that along with had. Okay? Had. I had not been watching an action movie. She had not been watching an action movie. For that one, I'll show you these slides and then you will understand. That's the negative statement, the example for those. He had not been watching an action movie. She had not been watching an action movie. I had not been watching an action movie. We had not been watching an action movie. You had not been watching an action movie. They had not been watching an action movie. Now what's the next one? You got to change that into interrogative statement, right? How you'll do that? It's there for you. That is the example for the interrogative statement. Had he been watching an action movie? Had she been watching an action movie? Had I been watching an action movie? Had we been watching an action movie? Had you been watching an action movie? Had they been watching an action movie? Those are the examples, all right? Don't get confused. You'll have to use them like that. Okay? Those are the assignments that you'll have to do. In the next class, as I'll give you the answer for those, but till then, you just have to try at least, right? He had gone to school by car. For that one, you'll have to find out which tense is that. The statement, of course, and the forms of verb. And one more thing is there. What is that? The numbers. Whether that is supposed to be the plural number or singular number. The next one, I had gone to Chennai last summer. You don't have to say summer vacation, of course, because it's understood already. I had gone to Chennai last summer. Okay? Or you would say, I had gone to Chennai last vacation. Or you can use them both. I had gone to Chennai last summer vacation. Okay. So you'll have to find out again the tense, the statement, the forms of verb, and of course the numbers there, whether it is singular number or plural number. Okay. I guess that you are able to understand that whenever I'm talking about the numbers, I meant that I'm talking about the subject which is being used over there, whether it's I, we, you, they, or he, she. Okay. Had you gone for lunch with her? That's a question mark. And whenever you are asking someone and inquiring, that means that I'm talking about which statement? You got it, right? Okay, just try to solve that thing. We had finished the task. We had finished the task. Here I have used had along with we. We had. Okay. And the third form of verb, that is finished. F-I-N-I-S-H-E-D, finished. We had finished the task. So come on, you can try it for yourself. All right. Move on to the next one. She had come to visit us. She had come to visit us. Do you think that visit is actually the verb over there? I want you to just find out that one, okay? Whether visit is actually the main verb which is being used in that sentence, or it is come. She had come to visit us. And then you'll have to find out the tense as well, and the statement, the numbers, and the forms of verb. The next one. Had she been crying that time? Had she been crying that time? It's a question mark, and been has been used over there. B-E-E-N, been is used there. So you could find it out for yourself. He had not been doing anything. He had not been doing anything at all. You would use it like that otherwise. Or he had not been doing anything. Okay. There again, been has been used. But he had not is also taken up there. Not. Which means that I'm talking about which statement? Yep, you got it. Okay. So I'm going to meet you in my next class, and then I'll give you the answer, and I'll get to know also from you that what you have learned. Okay. Next one. They had not been playing at all. They. If I'm using they, or whenever we are referring to that particular term called they, then which number is it? It is. Is it a singular number or a plural number? You got to help yourself. They had not been playing at all. You'll have to find out. Okay. The last one. It had been raining. It's quite simple. For that you don't need anything. Then what you will need? The tables that I have made for you, and the tables that I asked you to take the snapshot. Okay. So what you have to do with all those assignments that I have given to you? You'll have to find out the statement, whether it's plural or singular, and the second one, the forms of verb, whether the first form has been applied, or second, third, or fourth form respectively, or whether the suffix form, that is the S form, has been used. Definitely here the suffix forms or the S form is not going to be used, but as I told you in the second part of the tenses, that the suffix form, that is S form, will be only applied with the singular number of the present indefinite tense. Do you remember that I have taught you this one? Okay. The next one, the tense you'll have to figure out from that particular assignment that I have given to you. And of course the subject, whether singular number or whether plural number, like I, he, she, you, singular numbers, and we, they, as plural numbers. So that's it, kids. I'm calling it a day today. This is your teacher McEnroe. I shall meet you in the next class with the next topic and the next part of tenses, the future tense. Till then, Hashtag stay safe, stay home. God bless.